So who will get Social Security benefits? Now I can tell you that question is based off of many different factors, and so we're going to talk about that today in our Tuesday tip, so stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, Certified Financial Planner and President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center, and I want to welcome you once again to our Tuesday tips, where today we are going to be talking about who gets Social Security benefits. Now I can absolutely tell you that the Social Security system is very convoluted, and there can definitely be a lot of confusion around, who gets Social Security benefits and when do you get them and how do you receive them. And that is exactly why we do these educational videos, to try to help minimize the confusion for those of you who are actually tuning in. So today we are going to be discussing who gets Social Security benefits. So let's go ahead and jump into our lesson. So benefits will be paid to people who fit into this category: retired workers, that's people who've paid into the system; spouses or ex-spouses of a retired worker; the children of a retired worker. Also, any surviving spouses or ex-spouses are entitled to benefits, and disabled workers are also entitled to Social Security benefits. So how do they go about determining the status of if you qualify for Social Security benefits? Well, one, you definitely have to have at least 40 credits to qualify for Social Security benefits. You receive a maximum of 4 credits per year. So typically a person who has worked for 10 years in the private sector will probably qualify for Social Security benefits if their employer has taken out for Social Security. Now you can start receiving those benefits at the earliest at age 62 or the age of 50 if you happen to become disabled. Or you can receive those benefits at any age if the retired worker has started their benefits and you're caring for a child under the age of 16, or if you're caring for a child who became disabled before the age of 22. And depending on when you were born, you will receive 100% of those benefits at the age of 66 or age 67, and that would also be considered your full retirement age or your normal retirement age. Now, from your full retirement age to age 70, that is where you will receive your full benefits plus any delayed retirement credits of 8% per year. At the age of 70, you no longer receive those 8% delayed retirement credits, so it would be in your best interest to go ahead and start those benefits at that time. So when are those benefits going to be paid? Well, if you're a worker and you've paid into the system, as I mentioned, the earliest that you can get those benefits will be at the age of 62. Now keep in mind that you can receive Social Security disability benefits pretty much at any age with a minimum of 6 credits. So if you do become disabled, like even in your 20s, and you've paid into the Social Security system, you could receive some sort of Social Security disability payment. Now, if you are a spouse of a retired worker, when can you receive benefits? Well, you also have to be the age of 62 as well, at least the age of 62. Now, you could receive benefits off of the retired worker's record at any age if you're caring for a child under the age of 16, or if you're caring for a child who became disabled before the age of 22. Now, the caveat for this is that the worker would have had to already file for their Social Security retirement or their disability benefits for you to start receiving those benefits at any age. Another stipulation: as a spouse, in order for you to receive benefits, your marriage would have had to at least been 1 year or longer for you to qualify as a spouse to receive those particular benefits. So it's very important for you to understand that specification. At the death of a spouse, you can receive those benefits as early as the age of 60 or 50 if you're actually disabled. And of course, again, if you're caring for a child under the age of 16 or a disabled adult child who became disabled before the age of 22, you can receive any surviving benefits at that time. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out here is that when it comes to surviving spousal benefits, your marriage does not have to be 1 year longer. It can be as short as 9 months. So for a surviving spouse benefit, your marriage would have only had to be for 9 months. Now, I do want to make a special notation here. If your benefits are greater than the spousal benefits, then you will not receive both. So if you're receiving a benefit because you paid in and it's higher than your spousal benefit, which is only 50% of your spousal benefit, keep that in mind. If your benefit is higher than 50% of that spousal benefit in which you qualify for, you're only going to receive your benefit. Also, when it comes to the surviving spousal benefit, this is also very important to know. If you remarry before the age of 60, you will disqualify yourself from receiving survivor spousal benefits. So it would be to your best interest that if you found love and you're 59, wait one more year before deciding to tie the knot, because you would disqualify yourself for any survivor spousal benefits unless that marriage ends in divorce or death. So what about benefits for an unmarried child? For an unmarried child, if you're under the age of 18 or up until the age of 19 and still in high school, or if you were disabled before the age of 22, you can receive benefits off of a retired worker's record. Now, just understand, in order for an unmarried child to receive these benefits, that retired worker would have to be receiving those benefits. So they would have to have started their benefits in order for the unmarried child who could qualify could start receiving any benefits. Now, what about an ex-spouse of a retired worker? When can they receive benefits? Well, one, a divorced spouse who was married to the worker for at least 10 years. So you had to have been married for at least 10 continuous years. It can't be 9 years, but 10 years at least. You would also have to have been divorced for at least 2 years. And the divorced spouse and the retired worker needs to be at least the age of 62. So if your marriage was 10 years, you were divorced for at least 2 years, and that person was 62 and you were age 62, you can actually file for those benefits. Another key stipulation is that the divorced spouse must remain unmarried. And I want to make note, once again, the same rules will apply for an ex-spouse. If your benefits off of your record, if you're going to be receiving benefits, will be higher than 50% of your ex-spouse benefit, you will only receive your higher benefit, not the 50% of your ex-spouse. You won't receive both. Also, just like before, if you are a surviving ex-spouse, you could not remarry before the age of 60, because if you do, you will also disqualify yourself from receiving any survivor benefits unless that marriage ends in divorce or death. So as you can see with the information that we've shared today, Social Security can be very confusing and it can be very complex. So we would highly recommend that you reach out to someone like myself or someone in your area who specializes in helping you maximize your Social Security benefits to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Thank you again for tuning in to our Tuesday tips. Please note that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. And if you're looking for an independent fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today. We would also like to hear from you. Tell us about your Social Security questions, what confuses you the most, and leave any of those questions or comments in our section below. And if you found this information to be beneficial today, all that we ask is that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with others.